A light drizzle fell over the sidewalks that late afternoon. Daniel, a 26-year-old young man, walked slowly along the city street. His clothes were a little wrinkled, and the tip of his shoes had started to tear. His face showed exhaustion, disappointment, and the quiet weight of hopelessness. Another failed job interview. "Sorry, we're looking for someone with at least 2 years of experience." That line still echoed in his ears. Daniel sighed deeply, trying to calm his racing thoughts. He glanced at his phone to check his bank account. Only 27,000 rupiah left, less than $2. That would have to be enough to survive the week. Just then, something on the sidewalk caught his eye. A brown leather wallet lay there, slightly wet from the rain but still in good condition. He picked it up and slowly opened it. Inside, a thick stack of cash, 2 high-limit credit cards, and an ID. "Whoa," Daniel muttered under his breath. It was enough to pay his overdue rent, refill his empty fridge, maybe even cover next month's bills. He stood there for a long while. 5 minutes passed. His mind was at war. Nobody had seen him. He could take the money, toss the wallet, and walk away. No one would know. Then he caught his own reflection in the window of a nearby shop. Tired, yes, but still honest. "I'm not a thief," he whispered. "It's not mine." With quiet determination, he pulled out the ID and read the address. Robert Salim, Taman Sari Raya Street number 45. The house was nestled at the end of a tree-lined street behind an old iron gate. It looked like a house from another era. Classic, well-maintained, and peaceful. He rang the doorbell. After a moment, an elderly man opened the door. He looked to be in his late 70s, slightly hunched, but with kind eyes and a calm expression. "Yes," the man said softly. "Excuse me, sir," Daniel said politely. "Are you Mr. Robert Salim?" The old man nodded. I found this." Daniel held out the wallet with both hands. Robert blinked in surprise. He took the wallet and opened it slowly. "This is my wallet," he said in disbelief. "I must have dropped it this morning when I went out for bread." He looked Daniel over, from his damp hair to his worn-out shoes. "Most people would have kept this," he said, "especially someone who looks like they need it." Daniel shrugged and smiled weakly. "It wasn't mine to take." The old man's smile grew wider. Inside, the house was warm and modestly elegant. The living room was filled with old photographs, antique furniture, and shelves lined with books. A pot of tea was already brewing on the side table. "I rarely meet young people like you these days," Robert said as he poured 2 cups of tea. "May I ask your name?" "Daniel," he answered. "I've been job hunting for weeks now. No luck." Robert nodded knowingly. "Well, Daniel," he said after a pause, "what you just did, it wasn't just about returning a wallet." Daniel looked confused. Robert leaned back and smiled. "You just passed a test." "A test?" Daniel raised an eyebrow. Robert chuckled. "Yes, that wallet was planted on purpose. I lost it intentionally around the business district." Daniel blinked in shock. "I've been trying to find someone honest," Robert explained. "Someone who doesn't just talk about integrity, but lives it. And you," he said, pointing at Daniel, "are the first person in a month to return it, untouched and without asking for anything." He used to own a large export-import company. He retired early, sold the business, and dedicated the rest of his life to building a small charity, the Salim Foundation, focused on helping orphans and struggling families. "But I'm getting older," he said. "No wife, no children, no heir. I've been looking for someone I can trust to take over." He looked at Daniel with thoughtful eyes. "I think I found him today." Daniel froze. "Me?" Robert nodded. "I want to offer you a job," he said. "Not just any job. I want you to help me run the foundation. I'll train you. You'll have a place to stay, a fair salary, and more importantly, a purpose." Daniel's mouth opened, but no words came out. His eyes widened. "Sir, I just returned your wallet. I wasn't expecting—" "That's exactly why you deserve it," Robert said. Weeks later, Daniel started his new life. He worked at the foundation office, modest but vibrant. He helped distribute scholarships to orphanages, organized food drives, and even visited communities personally to understand their needs. He learned fast. Robert mentored him not only in operations, but also in ethical decision-making, financial management, and the importance of compassion. Within 6 months, Daniel had earned the full trust of Robert, and with it, the leadership of the foundation. He went from a jobless, nearly broke young man to a purposeful leader making a real difference, all because he returned a wallet and chose honesty over convenience. 5 years later,